Chuck Berry, Merle Travis, Cornell Dupree, Steve Cropper, kings of double stops. Double stops are basically playing two-note chords. Right? In the lead playing, you're playing lead with two-note chords. They're just fabulous and sound great to me on guitar, especially if you're playing with another guitar player or you're playing in a trio and you're trying to make it sound fatter than just single notes, which is the... just big and fat double stops. You're basically stopping what it means on two notes. This is just straight out of A, pentatonic, rock and roll, blues, Chuck Berry style, where I'm playing the E and the B string right here in A. And this one here is a kind of a little augmented chord, and you can bend it a little. But a lot of the double stops I'm playing are just straight out of the scale. That's very useful. I mean, that is just an A chord, just like the F chord, which would be the triad with the top root. So you just play the first two. And it resolves with a hammer on. Those are some good blues, rock and roll style. Double stops. Now the last one I played there, more like R&B or country style with a like major sound. You can play through the scales on these. So what we have here is we have the root, the A note here, and we have the third. Okay, so these are in thirds, and I'm just going to go do, re, mi. That was a little mistake there, but that's all right. Just like that. Right? So you could work those up and down the neck in any of the keys, and those are very nice. Say one guitar player is playing like a nice little rhythm like that. You go. And of course, there's multiple ways to play and to pick these kind of double stops. It's a big part of my guitar playing, where I'm... And mostly the double stops I'm using are just kind of out of the major scale for the melodic sounding double stops. And the standard Chuck Berry rock and roll style. So let's pull up a track. This is a rumba in A it's just 1, 4, 5. But I'll give you a simple demonstration of just some more Chuck Berry style double stops and some more maybe Steve Cropper style melodic double stops. again, I tried to make that as obvious as I could. I started out the first pass through with just more Chuck Berry style double stops. The kind of a bending, augmented chord. And these are just very close together chord-like two-note chord right out of the scale. So basic Chuck Berry sounding licks, and then I threw in what I would say is more the Steve Cropper, Cornell Dupree, the melodic thirds through the major scale, and I even played the changes when it went to the 4, I went to D, and now the other part of that double stop is how it's being performed. On the Chuck Berry style, I'm just playing them together, downstroke, pulling them, whatever it is. They're getting played once, all at once. I'm going right to have that kind of aggressive sound. On the other style, major sounding, Steve Cropper sounding double stops, sometimes I'm playing them together, but other time I'm doing this where I'm doing this kind of Memphis thing where I'm sliding in and I play the first note on the G, I'm sliding in to place and then pulling with my finger the E, the root. See how this is very, very common, but very useful. So I'm just sliding the finger into the next note and then pulling the next one. So they're not getting played together at the same time. It's the third. And it has, again, kind of a country quality, kind of a R&B thing, a little bit of a picking sound to it. So basically, these double stops are, they're played with the rhythm of the song or the feel of the song, that kind of sets up the approach to them or how I'm going to play them. They're usually utilized for melody. They work great as a secondary guitar part. Again, if you're working with another guitarist, one might be playing a rhythm part and you might be playing the double stop part to the same chords. That really that's a great, classic sound. There are double stops in all of the scales, all over, in the minor, and they're very easy to find. I encourage you to take time to work through any of the scales that you like to play through and find the thirds and the fifths and play them in these double stop motions to incorporate some real melody, some secondary guitar parts, and also just another outlet in the world of playing lead guitar to try to be interesting and melodic and have content. Double stops are for me, just another crutch that I lean on when it comes time to playing guitar. It just can't always be a lot of notes and single notes. I need melody, I need rhythm, and I want to keep it interesting, and double stops to me are very interesting.